From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Wednesday morning. It's going to be another very warm day out there. That's kind of expected since we're at the end of July. Air quality will continue to be suspect, especially for the Bluefoot Hills and the Blue Mountains, and some suspect fire weather as we head into this weekend. Saturday looking very dangerous. Okay, the air quality for now, not looking half bad, but if yesterday was any indication, we'll start to see the smoke rolling back in here into the afternoon and evening, especially for the foothills and the Blues. Winds, not really that big of a factor for now. It's been a little bit breezy at times for the Kittitas Valley. Look at these temperatures down into the 40s in the upper Yakima Valley for this morning. So cool there, 58 degrees for the Tri-Cities, 62 degrees in Walla Walla. Later today, I think our high temperatures in the Tri-Cities are going to land around 90. So in general for lower elevations, 80s and 90s with lots of sunshine, but it will be hazy to smoky sunshine for the eastern half of our viewing area. And speaking of smoke, fires, we'll have an update on that White Swan fire coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
And right now, an intense police chase through several Yakima neighborhoods. What police officers found when they caught up to the vehicle. Plus, the father of 3 children killed in a suspected DUI crash near Mapton appears in court. What he says about the charges against him. From Pennsylvania to the Carolinas, residences are dealing with the aftermath of powerful storms this morning. Stay with us to see what unfolded and how people are responding.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good Wednesday morning, and thank you for joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Zoe Solis. Hope you've had a good start to this first half of the week so far. We're going to check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth now with the latest on the fires throughout the region.
Yeah, thanks, Zoe. Well, we continue to track this White Swan and Ransier fire that started on Sunday in White Swan. Didn't get an update with acreage or containment yesterday. 901 is the acreage, containment at 50%. We didn't get an update with evacuations either, but I still want to pass this along because you still have to be packed and you have to be ready to leave at a moment's notice in the town of White Swan in case this fire does end up flaring up again. We'll take you from Yakima County all the way over to Umatilla County, where we have a few different fires that are burning: the Horse Ridge Fire, the Paradise Fire, and the Hagen Fire. Now look, with the Horse Ridge and with the Paradise Fire, no evacuations. The Horse Ridge Fire is almost wrapped up at this point. The Paradise Fire still doesn't have any containment on it, but obviously the Hagen Fire is the one of utmost concern. Now, we got a little bit of good news with this fire yesterday in that we do now officially have some containment. It's only 3%. It doesn't sound like a lot, but with the fire that's burning in this kind of terrain in the Blue Mountains, that is a very big deal. But you can see, obviously, this thing is still really cooking on the southern and on the eastern flank, and it's for that reason that we saw evacuations expanded further, deeper into Union County. You can find all the evacuation zones and all these exact areas posted online at applevalleyNewsNow.com. But the moral of the story still is that if you live along this Oregon Highway 204 corridor, Tollgate, Spout Springs, got to be packed, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Sign up for emergency alerts in Oregon by going to oralert.gov. In Washington, mil.wa.gov/alerts, pound local for more information on the fires. Let's send it back to Zoe.
All right, thank you, Josh. Going back to that first fire he was just talking about, where evacuation shelters have been set up to help those affected by this fire in White Swan. The Yakima Nation has donated food, clothes, and assistance to those who lost power in their homes or who have completely lost their homes in all. One of the 5 evacuation shelters set up in the Yakima Nation Tribal School in Toppenish is teaming up with Red Cross. They have given those affected 3 meals a day and cots to sleep on.
But the door is open to the evacuees, and I know most of them are my family members from out there, so, and we're all related in one way or another, so we help when we can help and help who we can help.
Later today, the Yakima tribal leaders and Yakima County officials are meeting to assess the damage the fire has caused and prepare their next steps to continue the relief effort for White Swan. The Kaiser Canyon fire in Washington state has already scorched more than 126,000 acres. More than 1,000 firefighters are trying to get it under control right now, but windy conditions aren't helping. This fire has been burning for more than 2 weeks in Okanogan County, and right now firefighters are working to keep the fire from expanding north and west. The area is under a red flag warning, which is proving to be a challenge for the fire crews. One of their biggest concerns is spotting right now, and that's when wind carries burning embers ahead of the main fire. Previously, work by the DNR and landowners to clear brush and other fuels has helped protect homes, ranches, and other structures. New this morning, 4 people are dead and 5 others are hurt after a crash in Grant County. This happened just after 4:30 yesterday afternoon at the intersection of Dotson Road South and Frenchman Hills Road West. First responders say a car and a semi crashed at the intersection, where 4 people inside the car died at the scene. A 5th person inside the car did suffer life-threatening injuries and was taken by air ambulance to a nearby hospital. 4 others in the semi, who were identified as 2 adults and 2 children, were also hurt and taken to a nearby hospital. The road was shut down for several hours while crash investigators worked the scene. Into other news this morning, the father accused of killing his 3 children in a suspected DUI crash earlier this month says he's not guilty. German Gonzalez Verduzco of Royal City made an appearance in court yesterday. He pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of vehicular homicide. Prosecutors are now seeking a warrant to determine the speed of the other vehicle involved in the crash. Verduzco is scheduled to appear in court again on October 19th. And for your crime alert this morning, a police chase in Yakima that went through several neighborhoods ended after the suspect slipped away from officers. According to the Yakima Police Department, officers spotted a person that they believed was a suspect in a recent drive-by shooting and tried to pull them over near the fairgrounds. After going through several neighborhoods, the chase ended at the intersection of 21st and Logan Avenue. This is where officers found the vehicle abandoned. No one was hurt, thankfully, but the chase was terminated at least twice for safety reasons. They then did pick it back up after conditions were improved. In Pasco, the City Council brought back the discussion of the possibility of less restrictive alternative, or better known as LRA, sex offender housing in its city. The topic was brought up at Monday night's City Council workshop meeting. Back in February, the council added a temporary moratorium, which was intended to give the city time to develop regulations and seek public outreach. But the council is now asking for more time on their official stance on LRA housing.
To ensure policy directives are captured and the appropriate process is followed in establishing these new regulations. The initial 6-month moratorium expires on August 17th, which means it's necessary to renew the moratorium an additional 6 months in order to accomplish the work requested by the council. To extend the moratorium, we are required to hold an additional public hearing, specifically on the moratorium itself.
This next public hearing on the topic will be on this upcoming Monday, August 3rd. And into something else this morning, the city of College Place says it's moving forward with plans for a new Lions Park Community Center. City officials say that this new facility would include a regional library, a YMCA early learning center, and flexible space that could be used for community events, meetings, and other gatherings. However, before those plans can become a reality, the city says it still needs to secure about $2 million in additional funding. Officials say that they're continuing to pursue grants, private donations, and other funding sources to help move the project forward.
Great thing for the community. Then the balance of the space will be an open space that can be used for functions, whatever you want.
City leaders say they'll continue working to secure the remaining $2 million needed to move the Lions Park Community Center project into construction. And still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, when we return, a powerful storm system swept across the Northeast overnight. The damage is staggering communities from Pennsylvania to the Carolinas, and they're waking up to devastation this morning. We'll show you what happened and what residences are facing right now. And right now, your time is 6:08. We're taking a live look out into Kennewick this morning. When we return, more on the weather topic with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth with all the temperature highs you need to know in your area when we come back.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. and you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event. With available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. Honda has all you need to get summer ready as the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Right now, you can get at 1.99% APR on a 2026 Ridgeline.
Hot Tub. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2026 inventory. Friday through Sunday. Hapo Center, Pasco. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. New 2026 inventory. Deep discounts. All inventory 40 to 80% off. See the revolutionary swim spa in action and save up to 60%. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Worry-free installation. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Hapo Center, Pasco. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
Entyvio is the only gut-focused treatment for moderate to severe Crohn's and UC. Gut-focused Entyvio works right where you need it to block inflammation in your gut. With a legacy of more than 10 years, Entyvio offers the experience you need, lasting relief and steroid-free remission. And some people experience rapid symptom relief. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of liver problems and serious infection. Although unlikely, PML, a rare brain infection that can result in death, cannot be ruled out. Your doctor may test for TB. Tell your doctor if you are prone to or have an infection, sores, or flu-like symptoms. With Entyvio, you may be able to pay as little as $0 per dose. Ask your doctor if Entyvio, including the Entyvio pen, is right for you.
Gut focused Entyvio.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some. Gimme Some Bagels.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Our high temperatures are going to be very warm to hot over the next 7 days, but not as hot as some of the triple digits we were tracking just last week. We're going to be around 80 by lunchtime in the Yakima Valley for today, then mid to upper 80s for the hottest part of the day. Pretty clear skies. I'm thinking pretty good air quality as well. So for today, going with a high of exactly 90 in the Tri-Cities, 88 for Yakima, 85 for Ellensburg, bounce between 85 to 90 for the Blue Foothills. And high temperatures are going to trend hotter into the end of the work week, cooler from Friday to Sunday, hotter again from Sunday to Tuesday. So kind of all over the place. But in general, this high temperature is going to be a little bit cooler than normal for this time of the year. The UV index will be very high once again for today on a scale from 1 to 11. It's going to be an 8, so that means that your skin could burn within 15 minutes. Be sure that you're putting on SPF at least of a 30 rating and that you're reapplying at least every couple hours, taking as many breaks in the shade as possible. With the fires that are still burning on the map, we're continuing with some smoky to hazy skies. Now look, the air quality was pretty good yesterday for a lot of the viewing area, but I'm not sure if we can necessarily bank on that for the next 48 hours. So we'll talk about that. Also some dangerous fire weather looming for this weekend. Talk about that as well coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Josh. Getting into some national weather news this morning as heavy rain and flash floods are hitting the Northeast, triggering a weather warning for millions of people. Reed Binion reports on the powerful storms hitting a large part of our country.
It just got dark and windy. It rained so bad that you couldn't even see out your window.
Communities across the Northeast slammed with violent storms Tuesday.
I just hunkered down. My dog is very scared of the thunder.
Some parts of the region were forecast to possibly get more than a month's worth of rain through the night. Flash flood watches were in effect for tens of millions of people, from Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, as well as parts of New England, down to Maryland, where street flooding in Baltimore was bad enough to leave cars partially submerged. The high water got so bad in some areas that crews had to carry out rescues, including in the town of Coalport, Pennsylvania, where 3 people and 2 dogs had to be rescued from a home. The destructive weather pushed further south, too, with storms powerful enough to send a massive tree crashing into this house in the Washington, D.C. area. The storm threat stretched even farther south into the Carolinas, where the rain was so heavy in Charlotte that it completely obscured the skyline for a time. Elsewhere in the state, a City of Asheville public meeting was put on hold for a tornado warning and evacuation. It comes as communities in the Midwest are still reeling from storms that struck earlier in the week. The National Weather Service confirming that at least 4 tornadoes hit the Chicago area Monday. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Today won't bring relief to the Northeast as heavy rain and slow-moving thunderstorms will continue, keeping the threats of flash flooding active. All right, well, coming up here on Good Morning Northwest, when we return, we've reached the middle of the week, and as we look ahead into the weekend, Josh is back with more details. As he was just saying yesterday, the smoke quality or the air quality was looking a little bit better. How long will that keep up for? Find out when we return.
We are the Dillos. We are from Northern Kentucky. Being out in a rural area, coverage is pretty hit and miss with other carriers, so switching to T-Mobile solved a lot of problems that we had.
I'm able to use T-Satellite now. We've got coverage no matter where we're at.
America's best network meets off-the-grid satellite coverage with T-Satellite. And right now, keep the phone you love, and we'll pay it off up to $800 when you switch.
Better service, better price, win-win.
Struggling with digestive issues? At Prosser Digestive Health Motility Center, board-certified gastroenterologist Dr. Amber Sharon helps uncover real answers close to home. Advanced testing services include anorectal manometry and drug-free biofeedback for chronic constipation and bloating, Bravo pH testing for heartburn, and esophageal manometry to diagnose swallowing problems. Restore your quality of life. Talk to your primary care provider or gastroenterologist about a referral, or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
For 50 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion. We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
Don't be worried or overwhelmed with moving into a retirement home. Piper Barton is your turnkey resource for premier 55-plus communities. From repairs and packing to prepping, listing, and selling your current home, all managed with white glove care. Piper Barton delivers quality resources and smooth timelines. You can expect discretion, clarity, and results from start to sold. Sit down and have a simple conversation with Piper Barton about next steps today.
During wildfire season, a spark could become an inferno. That's why Apple Valley News Now's First Alert team is always tracking.
Winds, humidity, lightning, even the smallest change can make the biggest difference.
It matters to you, which means it matters to us.
When it comes to wildfires, the First Alert team is on your side for one reason: to keep you safe. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth and the First Alert team, on air, in your hand, or online, only on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to deal with reductions in air quality and some smoky skies, although yesterday featured some of the best air quality we've seen in the past couple weeks or so. But let's put the surface smoke into motion for today, and we're thinking that the worst of it is once again going to be in the Blue Foothills and in the Blue Mountains, but we could certainly see some haze for the lower valley and for the lower Columbia Basin as well. I'm thinking that the cycle is in all likelihood going to be similar for Thursday as well. So we've been talking about it all morning, but we'll talk about it once again. Here's what to do during bouts of poor air quality. Stay indoors if you can help it. Wear a protective mask like the N95 or the KN95. Use clean air filters and watch for symptoms of smoke inhalation, especially if you suffer from a pre-existing respiratory illness. You can find this list posted online at applevalleynewsnow.com. Okay, I do think that smoke map has the potential to get worse as we head into the weekend because there's some very dangerous fire weather that is in the mix for Saturday. This is an alert day possible for now, but in all likelihood, it's going to get upgraded to an alert day proper. So the vegetation dryness forecast for Saturday, our scales maxed out for the Blues and for the Lower Columbia Basin. Extremely dry stuff out there and even critically dry for the Cascades. But as concerning as that is, I'm much more concerned about the wind gust, as for lower elevations, we're looking at gusts between 30 to 50 miles per hour, with the strongest wind gust being in the Kittitas Valley. So once again, fires could start or spread quickly in a setup like that. Here's how to prevent wildfires throughout the rest of summer, but especially for Saturday. Don't burn yard waste or toss cigarettes or drag trailer chains or park on dry grass or shoot off fireworks. I'll show you this graphic a million times this fire season if we have to. And you can access information like that and how to stay safe during the smoke and hourly forecast for your neck of the woods by downloading our weather app for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A little hazy at times over the next couple of days, keeping a close eye on a dangerous fire weather setup for Saturday. In Yakima, lots of sunshine with highs in the 80s and 90s over the next week. And then for Ellensburg, wind gusts could reach 50 miles per hour on Saturday. Not a good way to start the month of August. Then for Hermiston, hazy sunshine for the next couple days at least, with highs bouncing between the 80s and 90s. Finally, for Walla Walla, stretches of smoky weather for Wednesday and Thursday, then another round of tough fire weather on Saturday.
All right, 7-day forecast. Well, looks like we're still looking at some smoke concerns, air quality concerns, even though, like you said, yesterday was the best we've seen in a while, but don't get our hopes up yet.
It's nice to look up and see blue up in the sky. That was a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
hopefully we can get more of that.
Right, yeah. I absolutely agree. All right, well, when we return here on Good Morning Northwest, when we come back, firefighters from across Oregon are returning home exhausted after battling multiple wildfires in central and eastern parts of the state. Harley Cordone tells us what these firefighters faced and the toll it's taking on their families.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting them to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
This summer at More Furniture, shop new arrivals from $3.99. Refresh your room with the Westland panel bed. Relax on the lowest sofa and gather around the Sable Crest dining set. Each priced at $3.99. And for a limited time, when you buy a Watton Immersive Sound Sofa, you'll get a recliner for free. Plus 60 months special financing and free white glove delivery. Shop More Furniture, up to 60% off clearance in-store or online today.
Bath Planet brings life back to your bathroom with expert remodeling, custom designs, fast installation. And right now, save $1,000. Call for a free estimate today. 509-851-0669.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
Welcome back. Firefighters from across Oregon are returning home exhausted after battling multiple wildfires in central and eastern parts of the state.
Yeah, Harley Cold Iron tells us what these firefighters faced and the toll it's taking on their families.
Thought at the first one they might be headed home. We ended up at 2 more fires after that.
Hillsborough Battalion Chief Ben Tanner and Eric Keim, along with others, have just returned home after fighting several fires in Central Oregon.
And after you interact with the community and chat with folks that their houses are either at risk or, even some that have lost homes, it definitely becomes a lot more real.
These images show Tanner and his crew racing to protect buildings as the fire flames quickly approach in Central Oregon.
Clearing debris, clearing brush and grass away from the structures, trying to create kind of a barrier where if the fire came through, at least it'd be low intensity.
With the bench fire already burning down 6 homes and 5 outbuildings, much of the focus was on defending communities and important infrastructure. Combine that with low snowpack, dry conditions, and high heat.
They say they get 20 feet of snow normally. They had 2 inches this last year, so incredibly dry. Very fuel moisture is incredibly low.
Keim loves the work, but says it can be tough being gone for up to 2 weeks at a time.
My wife's taking care of the house. My daughter went to summer camp without me there. She was a little disappointed about that. I was disappointed not taking her to summer camp, but it was well worth it.
And though it's grueling, they say every resident was thankful for their time.
You can just sense the gratitude and the appreciation that folks have, and that's something I don't think you ever forget.
In rural Baker County, who basically said, I don't like paying taxes. I've never liked paying taxes. This is the first time in my life, though, I can see why I do.
Wow, just all the hard work that they're putting out there. It's really crazy how far they have to, or how long they are away from home for long periods of time.
Yeah, it takes a big toll on them, but like you said, thank you so much to all of our firefighters who are fighting so hard. And, they talked about how those parts of Oregon, for as little snow as we got for our mountains, they got even less.
I know.
Thinking about those guys.
Yeah, thank you for all their hard work out there. All right, well, when we come back here on Good Morning Northwest, first responders are stepping up training to handle water emergencies in our canal system. But officials say that the best rescue is one that never happens. We'll show you why these waterways are dangerous and what you need to tell your kids about staying safe. Plus, they leave their families for months and they fly into dangerous conditions. They go airborne within 10 minutes of a call. We meet the fire bomber pilots who are risking everything to protect our communities from wildfires when we return here on Good Morning Northwest.
Ever since Emmy got a new mattress from Denver Mattress, her math scores are through the roof. And Billy, nothing but the best sleep thanks to Denver Mattress. And now he's undefeated, 228-0. And during the back-to-school sale, setting up your star student for success is simple. Find huge savings on twin mattresses like the Colorado, now only $149.99. Plus 4 bedding bundles starting at only $99. Add superior sleep to your student supply list during the back-to-school sale, only at Denver Mattress.
Save thousands on the new revolutionary swim spa at a one-time sale. Friday through Sunday. Hapo Center Pasco. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation in 1 day only. New 2026 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Hapo Center Pasco. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event. With available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. Honda has all you need to get summer ready as the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Right now, you can get a 1.99% APR on a 2026 Ridgeline.
Ready to move to the music and savor the munchies? Join Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity for the 9th Annual Music and Munchies, Saturday, September 19th at the Reach Museum in Richland. Doors open at 4:30 p.m. Featuring live music from American Honey with headliner Austin Jenks. Taste local bites and bid in the silent auction. Presented by Tri-County Partners and Peton Wealth. Every bite and every beat helps build safe, affordable homes. See you under the stars.
Struggling with heartburn or reflux? At Prosser Digestive Health Motility Center, Dr. Amber Sharon and our experienced team offer Bravo pH testing to help get real answers. This minimally invasive test measures acidity levels in your esophagus using a small wireless capsule. Bravo pH testing can help your provider better understand your symptoms and create a treatment plan tailored to your needs. Ask your provider for a referral to Prosser Digestive Health Motility Center. Call 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Zoe Salas, and your time right now is 6:29. We're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. Everything we need to know for this Wednesday, Josh, what do you got?
Yeah, thanks, Zoe. Well, it's going to be another very warm day out there. High temperatures are going to stay in the 80s and 90s over the next 7 days. Pretty normal stuff, if not actually a little bit cooler than normal for this time of the year. We'll continue to deal with smoky and hazy skies, especially for the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, and perhaps some more fires popping up this weekend as we have very dangerous fire weather on the way. Air quality is not that bad for now for most of the viewing area, but this is not how the map is going to look a little bit later in the day, especially for the foothills and the Blues. Wind gusts, not really that much of a factor right now, even though it was a little bit gusty earlier this morning in Ellensburg. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, so it's feeling pretty good. Later today in the Yakima Valley, we're thinking we're going to be in the mid to upper 80s, so lower elevations in general for this Wednesday going to be in the 80s and 90s. Pretty good air quality and clear skies for the valleys, but for the basin and especially for the foothills, that's where it's going to be a little bit more hazy to smoky. Okay, speaking of smoke, the fires, will walk you through the White Swan and the Ransier fire. Didn't really get a big update with acreage containment or evacuations yesterday, but since there are still evacuations in place, just wanted to update you on these numbers. So still at 901 for acreage, 50% for containment, and then those level 2 beset evacuations for the entire town of White Swan. So you still have to be packed up. You have to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Now we'll take you over to Umatilla County, where we still have the 3 fires that are burning in the Blues, the Paradise, the Horse Ridge, and the Hagen fires. Now with the Paradise fire and the Horse Ridge fire, we're not seeing any evacuations, but these are 2 very different fires. This Horse Ridge fire, we're just about ready to drop off the map as containment is way up there, but no containment on the Paradise fire. But all the focus for now is going to go to the Hagen fire, which is now approaching 30,000 acres. A little bit of good news, bad news here, okay? The good news is that we now officially have some containment on this thing. It's only 3%, but that is a big deal, especially given all the tough terrain in this part of Umatilla County. But the bad news is that this fire is making a big time push to the east, which is why we saw evacuations expanding down towards the south and towards the east, further into Union County. Level 3 go now evacuations still in place for Bingham Springs and Gibbon. But look, if you live along that Oregon 204 corridor, Tollgate, Spout Springs, still got to be packed, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. All those zones posted online at applevalleyNewsNow.com. Sign up for emergency alerts in Oregon by going to oralert.gov, in Washington by going to mil.wa.gov/alerts, pound local. We'll have a lot more to say about these fires coming up a little bit later in the show.
All right, thank you, Josh. And to other news this morning, in Kennewick, a recent joint trainer exercise was held, highlighting the importance of water safety and the dangers of the region's canal system. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert spoke with EMS officials and members of the community about why staying out of canals can stay lives.
EMS professionals from across the Tri-Cities participated in a joint training exercise in Kennewick, just off West 25th Avenue, where first responders from the Benton County Fire District 1, Benton County Fire District 4, the Kennewick Fire Department, the Kennewick Irrigation District, and Richland Fire and Emergency Services conducted water rescue training in the canal system. The exercise focused on rescue techniques while also highlighting the dangers these canals can pose. Jake Van Horn with the Kennewick Fire Department says while departments have held their own water rescue training in the past, bringing everyone together is important.
This is an important training for us regionally, as all departments in the region do work together. When a call for service like a water rescue occurs, it's seldom going to be one department responding independently.
Van Horn says the training simulates a real-life water emergency in the canal system, allowing first responders to practice techniques like reach, throw, and go. It also gives rescue swimmers a chance to train in the water, something he says is better to practice now, so crews are prepared when a real emergency happens.
We don't want to encounter those for the first time on an actual incident scene. We want to be out in a training environment and go through those in training before we actually have that real-life victim in the water that we have to rescue.
However, Jason McShane with the Kennewick Irrigation District says there are nearly 60 miles of open canals throughout the community. While the water may appear to be moving slowly, he says the current can be moving much faster beneath the surface. Over his 20-year career with the district, McShane says he's seen some unusual things end up in the canals.
We had a llama in the canal not far from here down Union Street, and our guys were able to work with the the animal control agency to make sure that we could get that animal out safely. And Kennewick Fire was great to be there. Kennewick Police Department were great to be there with our people. We had to get a crane to crane that animal out.
However, Kennewick local Lee, who lives near a canal, says she worries about children playing too close to the water and the risks that come with it.
Even one of the kids could fall in because they're messing around and they're throwing rocks, and when the ditch water came up, and so I called the security at Chinook and mentioned to them, and when the school first gets out and they're headed home, I'll say something to them, but and crossing the crosswalk and stuff. But when they were stopping and throwing rocks at the ducks and stuff, and I said, what are you going to do? Wait till one of them falls in?
EMS officials want to remind the public that canals are not safe places to swim or play, and that entering them can lead to serious injury. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
Officials say that the best way to stay safe is to keep a safe distance from canals and report any water emergencies immediately. All right, into some news in the Pasco City, where the council is weighing whether to expand local cannabis business options after reviewing how much revenue marijuana sales bring into the city. Supporters say more state-approved licenses could boost economic opportunities, while opponents argue that public health concerns should come first. Council members reviewed several options during a workshop on Monday night, including keeping the current limit of cannabis retailers, allowing more retail stores through the state's social equity program, or permitting cannabis producers and processors. Pasco currently has all of its authorized retail licenses in use.
We're in the early days of marijuana research, but already the dangers are becoming clear. And in the midst of a mental health crisis, we should avoid doing anything that would make matters worse.
No action was taken during the workshop, but if council members decide to move forward, city staff would draft an ordinance before any public hearing or final vote. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we return. They've been away from home since June and they fly into danger every day. But for these fire bomber pilots, seeing a home saved makes it all worth it. We meet the heroes fighting wildfires from the sky. And your time right now is 6:36, taking a live look out into the rodeo grounds in Ellensburg. When we return back here with Chief Meteorologist Josh Kobreth and all the temperatures you need to know in your neck of the woods after this.
Little field research. Check this out.
Looks like America is loving Ford quality.
Yeah, and J.D. Power backs it up.
Great deals.
Crazy good capability.
America, this is what summer's all about.
In Tri-Cities Real Estate, one group stands above the rest. One group consistently ranks in the top 20% of the region's real estate agents. One group puts a full team of professionals backing your every move to get the best deal at every step. And one group with an award-winning team to give you more insights and help you make more educated decisions. So if you're ready to make your next move with certainty, there's really only one group for you.
First, at Shriners Children's, the world's most advanced scoliosis procedures are born here. In fact, we deliver access to the world's best doctors for nearly every pediatric orthopedic condition. We're delivering care without compromise is our promise. And kids can just be kids. Because being first always starts with empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Entyvio is the only gut-focused treatment for moderate to severe Crohn's and UC. Gut-focused Entyvio works right where you need it to block inflammation in your gut. With a legacy of more than 10 years, Entyvio offers the experience you need, lasting relief and steroid-free remission. And some people experience rapid symptom relief. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of liver problems and serious infection. Although unlikely, PML, a rare brain infection that can result in death, cannot be ruled out. Your doctor may test for TB. Tell your doctor if you are prone to or have an infection, sores, or flu-like symptoms. With Entyvio, you may be able to pay as little as $0 per dose. Ask your doctor if Entyvio, including the Entyvio pen, is right for you.
Gut focused Entyvio.
Yep, just got back from Philly with the goods. Chopped and seasoned shaved steak, grilled onions, grilled peppers, melty Swiss-style cheese, all on a bakery soft hoagie roll. No one suspects a thing. Try my new Philly cheesesteak combo before it's too late.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Where you been, Hank?
Little field research. Check this out.
Looks like America is loving Ford quality.
Yeah, and JD Power backs it up.
Great deals.
Crazy good capability.
America, this is what summer's all about.
During wildfire season, a spark could become an inferno. That's why Apple Valley News Now's First Alert team is always tracking.
Winds, humidity, lightning, even the smallest change can make the biggest difference.
It matters to you, which means it matters to us.
When it comes to wildfires, the First Alert team is on your side for one reason: to keep you safe. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth and the First Alert team, on air, in your hand, or online, only on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're going to continue to keep it toasty, pretty typical stuff over the next 7 days for this time of the year, although we actually might be a little bit cooler than normal for this time of the year. All right, for today in the Tri-Cities, going to have hazy sunshine, although if yesterday was any indication, some better air quality as opposed to what we've seen over the last couple weeks. But around 80 by lunchtime, pretty close to 90 degrees for the warmest part of the day. So let's take you on that zone-by-zone tour of this Wednesday forecast. We start off up in the Cascades, where we're going to be the 60s, 70s, and 80s, just kind of depending on your exact elevation. And then for the Kittitas Valley, anywhere between 80 to 85 degrees, going with forecast high right at 85 in Ellensburg. Then for the Yakima Valley, upper 80s, a whole bunch of 88s. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, upper 80s to lower 90s, 90 for the Tri-Cities, 91 for Benton City, a bunch of 89s down towards Boardman, Umatilla, and Hermiston. And then for the foothills, between 85 to 89, a couple 86s for Lexington and Heppner, 89 degrees for Milton Freewater. And then for the blues, which is probably where we're going to have the worst air quality, the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains will be where we're going to keep it the smokiest and the haziest for today. But 70s and 80s will be the highs for the Blue Mountains. And then high temperatures, the trend over the next 7 days, it's going to be a little bit hotter into Friday, a good deal cooler from Friday to Sunday, and then hotter again for Sunday into Tuesday. So kind of bouncing all over the place. We'll track the smoke. We'll talk about more dangerous fire weather coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Josh. Into other news this morning, when a wildfire breaks out, these Fireboss aircrafts are among the first called into action. Pilots can be airborne in just 10 minutes, scooping up 800 gallons of water in about 15 seconds before making repeated drops to help crews on the ground. Their efficiency allows pilots to perform continuous scoops and drop over a wildfire for 3.5 hours before needing to refuel.
It's a very rewarding job. You get to protect people's homes and property, and it's always fun to visit with people where their homes or their property has been saved or reduced damage because of the work we're doing.
As wildfire season continues across the Northwest, these aircrafts remain on standby, ready for that next call. All right, up next here on Good Morning Northwest, we've got everything you need to know for this Wednesday in your morning sprint. Your time right now is 6:42. Taking a live look out into Richland this morning. Still looking at some hazy sunrises this week as the smoke air quality is still up. More on that when we return with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth after this.
This Nissan lineup goes where you take it. Trucks and SUVs built rough, tough, and ready. Nissan, Consumer Guide's most awarded brand 5 years in a row. Get up to $5,750 total savings on select Frontier trims.
At DQ, we're double flipping over our limited time Blizzard Double Flip deal. Buy one Blizzard treat and get a second for just 99 cents.
99 cents? That's bananas.
No, that's bananas.
1, 2, 3, we got that DQ flavor. Savannah bananas, do it big, do it major. Home runs, fun runs, everything's crazy.
The Blizzard Double Flip deal is here.
Should we tell them to stop?
It's bananas. Buy one, get another for just 99 cents. Get it in the DQ app.
I'm Dr. Rachel Fedino, CEO of New You Women's Clinic and Aesthetics, and we're that one-stop shop where women can come to handle all of their needs, from women's health to wellness and then state-of-the-art medical aesthetics. And by popular demand, last year we expanded into Yakima because we really needed to be able to capture that volume of patients. Not only are we caring for women, but we're also caring for men.
The first treatment I did was over a year ago. I definitely had improvement in my back and some flexibility, felt better, and then luckily now that New You has brought in the EBOO 2 machine here to Tri-Cities.
This is an incredible platform that's going to help with purifying the blood and helping to reduce inflammation in the body and just help with that overall inside-out approach.
I'm not stumbling anymore. Since I've started the treatment, I haven't fallen again. I feel younger. It's just changed my whole life.
You're going to come in, you're going to get your questions answered, and you're going to be feeling better quickly.
For 50 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion.
We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
Don't be worried or overwhelmed with moving into a retirement home. Piper Barton is your turnkey resource for premier 55-plus communities. From repairs and packing to prepping, listing, and selling your current home, all managed with white glove care. Piper Barton delivers quality resources and smooth timelines. You can expect discretion, clarity, and results from start to sold. Sit down and have a simple conversation with Piper Barton about next steps today.
This Nissan lineup goes where you take it. Trucks and SUVs built rough, tough, and ready. Nissan, Consumer Guide's most awarded brand 5 years in a row. Get up to $5,750 total savings on select Frontier trims.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to deal with smoky, hazy skies downwind of the fires. Now look, yesterday was some of the best air quality, some of the clear skies we've seen in quite some time. I think that has something to do with the fact that the fires in Oregon weren't as active yesterday, but don't get lulled to sleep now, because a little bit later today, those fires could flare up again, and we could start to see some smokier or hazier skies, at least in the upper levels from Sunnyside to Hanford to Ritzville, points to the east of there. That's going to be the cycle for today, and then into tomorrow, it looks as if that plume could push a little bit further towards the east. Now, where we're going to see the worst air quality, I'm thinking that's going to continue to be for the Blue Foothills and for the Blue Mountains. So here's what to do during stretches of bad air quality. Stay indoors if you can help it. Wear protective masks like the N95 or the KN95. Use clean air filters like the HEPA filter, and watch for symptoms of smoke inhalation, especially if you suffer from a pre-existing respiratory illness. You can find this list posted online at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Now, that smoke map could get shaken up as we head into the weekend, because there's some more dangerous fire weather afoot. this setup, I'm thinking, looking much more dangerous as opposed to the setup that we had for yesterday, where we did get lucky because we didn't really see any new fires spark up. Do not let your guard down, though, because as we head into Saturday, the vegetation is going to be even drier, extremely dry, level 5 out of 5 on our scale for the Blues. For lower elevations, critically dry for the Cascades. But I'm much more concerned about the winds this go around. As you see, for lower elevations, we'll see peak gusts between 30 to 50 miles per hour, with the strongest winds being in the Kittitas Valley. But once again, in a setup like this, fires could start or spread quickly. Here's how to prevent wildfires. Don't burn yard waste, toss cigarettes, drag trailer chains, park on dry grass, or shoot off fireworks. You can see information like that, also hourly forecast for your exact home address location by downloading our weather app for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A little hazy at times over the next couple days. Keeping a close eye on a dangerous fire setup for Saturday. In Yakima, lots of sunshine with highs in the 80s and 90s over the next week. And then for Ellensburg, wind gusts could reach 50 miles per hour on Saturday. Not a good way to start the new month of August off. Then for Hermiston, hazy sunshine for the next couple days at least, with highs bouncing between the 80s and 90s. And finally, for Walla Walla, stretches of smoky weather for Wednesday and Thursday, then another round of tough fire weather on Saturday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new details on the shooting at the home of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy.
We have to go through, an entire investigation to find out exactly, where everybody was, what they did, what prompted it, how it all transpired.
A doorbell camera capturing the frantic moment as first responders quickly carry Mia Bieniemy away from her home in Ashburn, Virginia, Sunday evening. This police officer simultaneously heading toward the home with his rifle drawn. Authorities soon arresting 27-year-old Elijah Bieniemy, seen here. The son currently being held without bond on multiple gun charges.
We're conducting that investigation right now.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the very latest on the investigation and how the Kansas City Chiefs are supporting Eric Bieniemy and his wife.
Is caught for the touchdown.
For your GMA First Look, I'm Pierre Thomas, ABC News, Washington.
Even if your child has moderate to severe eczema, they can feel the flow, feel the breeze. And Dupixent helps them feel the heal. It helps calm a key source of inflammation under the skin that can cause eczema. Dupixent is the only biologic therapy approved to treat kids as young as 6 months for noticeably clearer skin and less itch. Severe allergic reactions, including skin reactions, can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Dupixent. Help heal their skin from within so they can stay ahead of eczema. Find an eczema specialist and ask about Dupixent today.
Now, the morning sprint.
Welcome back. In your national headlines this morning, communities across the Northeast slammed with violent storms Tuesday. Flash floods watches were in effect for tens of millions of people along the East Coast. The high water got so bad in areas that crews had to carry out rescues. In Coalport, Pennsylvania, 3 people and 2 dogs had to be rescued from a home. In the city of Asheville, public meeting was put on hold for a tornado warning and evacuation. At least 4 tornadoes could hit the Chicago area on Monday. Into business headlines this morning, David and Anna Steiner will get a $65 million payout from eBay. The couple was harassed by security personnel who were accused of attempting to keep the couple quiet. Afterward, the couple started to receive anonymous items, including a bloody pig mask and packages of cockroaches. Former eBay chief executive Devin Wing says the stalking and harassment was, quote, done in secret and without his knowledge. The Steiner is to get $46 million from eBay and $6 million more to be donated to several nonprofits. More than 12,000 pounds of smoked bacon from Canada has been recalled. The affected brands are Royal Natural Applewood Smoked All Natural Uncured Bacon and Value Uncured Hardwood Smoked Bacon. These products included in the recall are 12-ounce packages with various sell-by dates. The bacon was distributed to retailers in Idaho, Oregon, and Washington State, and as of right now, no illnesses have been reported.
All righty, and your Fire Watch for this morning. Updates on the White Swan and the Ransier fire. Now, we actually didn't get an update with the acreage containment or evacuations yesterday, but I still want to talk about it because there are still those level 2 evacuations in place for the entire town of White Swan. But just for good measure, acreage still at 901, containment still right at 50%. There's level 2 evacuations still in place for the entire town of White Swan. So you still have to be packed up. You have to be ready to leave at a moment's notice in case this fire does end up flaring up again. We'll take you from Yakima County all the way down to Umatilla County, where the Paradise Fire, the Horse Ridge Fire, not prompting any evacuations, and we're almost completely contained with the Horse Ridge Fire. But with the Hagen Fire, kind of good news, bad news with this one. We'll start off with the good news, and that containment is up to 3% now. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, given all the terrain that this is burning in the Blue Mountains. But the bad news is that this is closing in on 30,000 acres. It's making a big-time run to the east, as you see indicated by all those active hotspots. And so the evacuation boundaries push further to the east, further into Union County yesterday afternoon. Still have to be packed and ready to leave at a moment's notice along this Oregon Highway 204 corridor, including Tollgate and Spout Springs. You can find all the evacuation zones impacted posted online at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Sign up for emergency alerts in Oregon by going to oralert.gov, and Washington by going to mil.wa.gov/alerts #local. With more fire info, send it back to Zoe.
All right, thank you, Josh. Getting into your top 5 local things you need to know this morning. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says that 4 people are dead after a crash in rural Royal City. Authorities say a semi and a car crashed at the intersection of Dodson Road South and Frenchman Hills Road West just after 4:30 Tuesday afternoon. 5 others involved in the crash were hurt and taken to nearby hospitals. The identities of the people involved have not yet been released, and there will be traffic delays in the area due to the investigation. The father accused of killing his 3 children in a suspected DUI crash earlier this month says he's not guilty. German Gonzalez Verduzco of Royal City made an appearance in court yesterday. He pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of vehicular homicide, where prosecutors are now seeking a warrant to determine the speed of the other vehicle involved in the crash. Verduzco is scheduled to appear in court again on October 19th. The man accused of stabbing Pasco bus driver Richland Lenhart in 2021 is in court this afternoon for his sentencing hearing. Prosecutors are recommending 50 years in prison for Joshua Davis. However, Davis's lawyer is asking for 25 years due to mental illness. Davis was found guilty of murder on November 20th in 2025, where it took 4 years for prosecutors to get the conviction. The Pasco City Council is discussing the possibility of less restrictive alternative or LRA sex offender housing in its city. Back in February, the council added a temporary moratorium which was intended to give the city time to develop regulations. But the council is now asking for more time on their official stance on LRA housing. The next public hearing on this will be on Monday, August 3rd. And the city of College Place says it's continuing to move forward with plans for a new Lions Park Community Center. This would include a library, a YMCA Early Learning Center, and spaces that could be used for events, meetings, and other gatherings. The city says it still needs to secure about $2 million in additional funding. And let's take one last look with our weather with Josh this morning. Josh, what are you looking at?
Yeah, we are looking at some air quality that's, I'll tell you what, it's not half bad out there now. Don't get lulled to sleep by this, because we could see the smoke surging back in here a little bit later in the day. It really depends on those containment efforts of the fires that are burning in southern and central Oregon. I have a feeling that it was probably a pretty good day on the fire lines yesterday, just given that we didn't see that big smoke plume roll in, but it's not given that we're going to get so lucky today, and we're still thinking that the worst air quality is going to be in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains. Winds, kind of forget about them for today. They're not going to be that impactful. Will be breezy later today in the valleys, but those current temperatures, 50s and 60s for lower elevations, not feeling half bad. We're going to end up around 90 degrees in the Tri-Cities when it's all said and done for this Wednesday, so 80s and 90s for lower elevations. Good air quality, clear skies for the valleys, a little bit more suspect to the east of there, and some suspect fire weather for this weekend. We're keeping a very close eye on that alert day possible.
All right, looking good for today so far, Josh.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching Good Morning Northwest. We hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Yeah, Good Morning America is up next. We'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5. Have a great day.